Okay, what's up? Testing it up, and I can hear myself. I can nope, it's going in and out again. It's going in and out again. And I'm checking the levels, and they seem to be a little bit. It could go a little louder. It's fine. It's fine if it's okay. It's going in and out. Did we start yet? Are we okay? It's good. Okay, that sounds good. That part sounds good. I just hit my head. All right, sounding good. I can hear myself. We're here. I'm in front of you guys. That's what we're doing. We're starting the podcast right now. We're starting it. So, I mean, if you're listening, then that means we started the podcast because this is what we do. This is how we start it. I obviously am in full control. Even if I was doing the podcast from where I usually do it at my place, I would still be doing it myself, although I will have an it next time. So we will have the it that will help me out. But, I moved stuff a little because the camera and stuff is on a rug, and we're in a different environment right now. I think I could turn it up a little bit louder, and if it gets too loud for you on your end, you could just turn it down on your device, on whatever device. But we started, obviously. I think you know we do this every week, but just to remind you that obviously it started if I'm talking. So I'm out of my comfort zone, and you know that's gonna happen a lot. And you guys are probably like, wow, where is he now? What's going on? This is crazy. And it's like, I don't stop for anyone, dude. I don't stop for anyone. I'm gonna do the podcast. It doesn't matter where I am. If I'm in LA, I'm gonna do it in LA. If I'm in Orlando, I'll do it in Orlando. If I'm in Fort Lauderdale, I'll do it in Fort Lauderdale. If I'm in Paris, I would do it in Paris. I'm never gonna I bring it everywhere. I'm never not gonna be able to do the podcast, and the podcast will go on the road with me. The podcast will hit the road, and that's what's beautiful about this. Is you watch these big comedians. Hold on, gotta hit. Is the coffee kicking in? No, it's late at night right now, and it's tea. And I'm recovering, and I'm drinking some recovery tea because I partied last night. And I'm in Fort Lauderdale, and it's gonna get rowdy in the next few days. So that's why I had to do this episode right now, because tomorrow we'll get into that. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. Keep me on track. You're not here, but whatever. We started, and I'm not one of these people who's like back home, and I got my fancy studio. So, we don't have that. So, and that's fine, because you don't need that. You don't want to be these Hollywood podcast people with these big studios that sell out. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that. You keep it real. You keep it real and loyal. And that's what this episode's about, being loyal and real. It's going to be called the friendship episode, because we're going to talk about some great friendships and great great friends that I have in my life, and that's what's cool about this episode. And I like the tea, and I like everything. I like the way everything's sounding, and we're here. And like last week's episode, I don't have many notes, man. I'm just gonna kind of really talk from the heart. That's what we're gonna be doing. I might even change my voice a little bit and have an accent. I don't even know if it's a real accent or something. I don't know. You're probably like, where is he? Is he on Is he on a kid bunk bed? Am I in a bunk bed right now? Am I in some kid's bunk? Did I break into someone's house? First of all, I know that this is not the best situation that I should be recording in, and you guys are like, why is he in his nephew's room? What's going? You're asking yourself all these questions. You're like, where is he? Where is he right now? I'm not in my nephew's room. My nephews don't have bunk beds. They both have their own rooms. Spoiled brats. Yes. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I'm staying at my buddy's house. He's my very good friend that we'll get into him. But right now, before we get into him, let's not get off track. But before we get into him, you're gonna know that I'm sitting in a bunk bed right now that I fucking built. I built this with my own hands. Okay, I stayed with my buddy. He was like, hey, you know what? My son is with my parents for the week. You could stay past the 4th of July. I was like, I would love to. So he's like, I got an extra room. I'm like, great. You got an extra room? I'm game, dude. I'm going to stay with you in Fort Lauderdale. You got a good central place. We'll see people, have fun. We'll go out, even though places are still kind of a little closed here, we'll hang out with just some buddies, and we'll social drink and social. We'll just do social distancing shit. I'm lying. I'm breaking the rules, and I'm part of the problem. And I'm part of the problem. The curve is peaking right now. So, but either way, he was like, "Come stay with me. I got a place for you. You could stay." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." And I was like, not even thinking about it. And he's like, "Here's where you're gonna stay." And I was like, "I'm gonna sleep in your kid's bed. That's what I'm sleeping in. Where my fucking feet are going off the edge of the bed. That's where I gotta stay." But you know what, dude? Beggars can't be choosers. And I'm gonna stay in his bed. And then he tells me while I'm staying in this room, I'm looking all around. I want to get shots of the whole room and show you what I'm sleeping in, because it's just I'm surrounded by toys, which is fun for me because I like playing toys. I do. I still play toys. I play video games, and you don't think I play fucking action figures? I do. I fucking play. Dude, I got some right here, dude. I got Leonardo, and Leonardo. Okay. I mean, Jesus, my brain's going 100 miles per hour because the tea's kicking in. I don't even know how to start. I'm getting all these ideas because then I picked this toy up and I'm like Leonardo, and I was like, wow, I keep hitting my head. I keep fucking hitting my head and I'm getting distracted. That's the ADD. Wow, what a good time we're having. I'm having a good time. Are you guys having a good time? Welcome to the Takeover podcast. I'm your host, Michael Lenoci. You knew that. We're starting all over again, I guess. I guess we're starting all over again. This week I got a couple guests. I got Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles, and, we'll discuss, they've been going strong for 40 years now. I feel like they've been a crew for 40 years. So we'll go into that a little bit. I got a Tyrannosaurus Rex hanging out with us, and if you're a big loyal fan of me, I used to do an impression of an Italian dinosaur. So this is cool, dude. I'm just going to tell you right now that this is fucking cool. So we'll get talking to the Tyrannosaurus Rex later, and then we'll get with the Ninja Turtles. But let's go back to what we were discussing before we started the podcast. Here's the deal. He was like, "Stay with me." So I'm staying in this kid's room, who, by the way, of all my friends, he's the only one of my friends who I haven't met his son yet, who's gonna be 5, I believe. So I haven't met his son, who's 5. So my buddy Memphis, I haven't met his son yet. So, and it just so happens that the reason I'm staying here is because his son's with his parents. So that works out, and I keep bumping my head, and I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad at myself, but I'm also getting mad at the bed that I built. I built this bed. So the first night I got here, I'm laying in the bed, and he's like, "Yo, I got this bunk bed for my son. I got to put it together." And I said, "You know what, dude? I stepped up, and this is what you guys need to do for yourselves, and everybody should do stuff like this. You have to be a responsible adult or a young adult or a parent or whatever you are, whoever's listening to this, or an employee or something. You have to be responsible and take initiative like I did." He goes, "Oh, I got him this bunk bed and stuff," and I was like, "You know what, dude? Sorry, I think I got COVID. I'm probably gonna get it, and we'll get into that too." I stepped up and I go, "You know what, dude? I'm gonna put that together for you. I'm gonna put the bunk bed together for you. That's what I'm gonna do." And guess what you're looking at? You're looking at a bunk bed that I put together with my fucking hands. All of my hands, all of them, both of the hands that I have, not just one hand, not just two hands, but my hands together. I put this together, and guess what? Nobody went on the top bunk to test it out yet. We don't have sheets on it, but the bottom one held me. I slept in it, but I put this whole thing together. It took me a lot of hours. It took me multiple hours combined. It took me hours that you put together to put this together. There was more than 2 hours of work that went into putting this together, and I did it. And he was like, "Wow, you got to this real quick," because right now it's Wednesday. I got here Monday. I put this together on a Tuesday, dude. I was like, "Dude, I'm here for you, dude. You're giving me a place to crash." I had to get out of LA. I had to go see my family, lean on them, and now I'm leaning on my friends. And that's how loyal my friends are. And that's a reminder that I think we all need to remind ourselves that you need to look deep into yourself and ask yourself, how loyal of a person are you to your friends? Because I think that's something that I've kind of noticed recently in my life, that there's not a lot of people out there who will be there for you in hard times, and you got to fucking remind yourself that, do I want to be that person, or do I want to be someone that I can look back in life and be like, I was there for all of my friends from when they were in the thick of things to when they were living their highest moments. And that's important. And there's something special about this episode, because there's something crazy about this story, that I'm here at Memphis's place, staying at his place. I put this bed together for him, and that's just the least I could do, because he was like, he's like, "Come stay with me." offered it. I didn't even ask, you know. I knew I had plenty of friends down here to stay, but he was like, nah, you come stay with me. So I was like, let me put this together for him. That's the least I could do. And I think it's a great reminder of like, oh, wow, Michael, every week he proves himself that he's bettering himself. And I'm ready to obviously be a father and a family man because I'm putting shit like this together. If you don't think that this is attractive, if you don't think women are watching this episode going, wow, he put that together, they're dripping, bro. They're all on it right now. Like I know that there's women watching this episode and they're like, he's ready. He's ready, and he's been prepared, and he's been preparing for this moment previous weeks. You've been watching the podcast, you've been listening to the podcast, however you listen or watch it, seems like it's getting more views. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching it. I also know some of you trolls are still fucking greasing up my fucking page with your dislikes. Uh-oh. COVID, whatever. It's happening. It's happening. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I get it, okay? It's because I didn't sleep well last night. I was up late. I partied. I had a fun time, okay? I let loose. Anyways, back on track. Clearly, I'm ready to be a fucking man. A dad, a guy who's ready to take control of a house. I don't have a house. I don't even have money to get a house. But if I did, I would get a house, and then I would be like, this is my house. And I would start hanging things up. I would start building like stuff that I would be like, oh, this is going to be my man cave. And I could do that. I know I can do that because this right here is proof. Look at this. It's pretty sturdy, okay? So just so you know, ladies, I know that you're watching and you're like, wow, he's really ready to do this. And I am. And this is just a show. So I built this kid's bed. I didn't fucking sneak into someone's house. I'm not in some weird little kid's room. Let's fucking forget those jokes, okay? Don't be stupid, okay? And but I'm here. And sorry about that. I had to get a little out of my system, okay? So that's probably the COVID. I'm probably going to get it because I came to Florida, which is, what is Florida, one of the worst places to be right now besides California? Anywhere I go, I'm going wherever COVID is very bad, okay? So that's where I'm going to be. Still haven't got it, but I feel like I'm definitely going to get it this week because, you know, I'm going to be going wild this week. This week, I'm going back to my college days, and I'm gonna not take care of my body. I mean, I'm still running and meditating, but, like, I'm not. I'm going to put stuff into my body, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I want you guys to know that. And, you know, whatever. I'm letting loose, okay? So that's what I'm doing. But I'm drinking the tea, so that makes you feel better. I really wish I had it right now because I know there were some things I'm already forgetting, okay? But I did. I'm really proud of myself for building this bed, and for multiple reasons. I'm proud that I did it for him, and I'm proud that I did it for, you know, just to prove to myself that I was ready to be a real adult. So here it is, man. I did it for him, and it's fucking awesome. So, and I'm staying with my buddy Memphis, and I want to go into the friendship thing, and it's very important because it's weird because here we are 10 years ago. I don't know if you guys, for those of you who've been watching the podcast or listening to it, so you know when I did the 10 years later part, the 3-segment part, you know, I talked about, I might have brought it up, but like when I first moved to LA in 2010, the reason I was able to get over there and like get going so quickly was I had a buddy, Memphis, who lived out in LA, and he worked in the nightclub. He worked at a nightclub in the, I'm sorry, sometimes I can't talk, you know, and we know that. And that's a flaw that I've continued to embrace and recognize and work on. And clearly I haven't worked hard enough on it because I'm still messing up. So anyways, he would work at these nightclubs in LA. So he was on Big Brother. Memphis was on Big Brother in 2010. So I want to say 2009, 2010, he was the runner-up in Big Brother. And so because of that, you know, he won some money, and then he also, it gave him some status to where he was able to advance in his job in the nightclub. Like he became a general manager. So he was one of the first people I hit up when I knew I was going to move to LA, because he was one of my good buddies in college, and he got me set up with a job right away. And I was one of those guys in those nightclubs that would follow the bottle service girls around and like stock the cups and fill up the cranberry juice, the orange juice, and the club soda. Like I was just adding cups, and like I was serving fucking Suge Knight and stuff. This is when he wasn't in jail yet, and I would like serve him, and people were like, that's Suge Knight, and fucking Andy Dick would be in there wasted trying to make out with all the guys, and then like who else, like anyone, just like old rappers that like weren't that relevant. I mean, sometimes I remember J. Cole performed there before he was big in 2010 at one of the nightclubs. It was called Industry. So anyways, he hooked me up with this job. And that's what kind of kept me afloat to like do stand up and do open mics, because like, dude, I would work 1-2 shifts a week and make $500 a week just working these 2 shifts at a nightclub. So it was awesome. So I was able to just do so many open mics, and he always supported me. He went to my first show at the Improv, and throughout the years would always go to shows in town. And then, you know, when he moved back to Florida, he would always come to Florida and see us when we would do shows down here. So he's been one of my biggest supporters ever. So funny now, though, here we are, fast forward 10 years later, and we're going through this pandemic. It's been a rough time for not only me, for a lot of people. I'm out of work. I don't have money. I can't make money. It's tough. And I was at the point in comedy where I didn't have a side job. I was making all of my income through comedy, and now trying to make it through a podcast. So make sure you check out the Takeover Pod on the patreon.com/thetakeoverpod. Pretty cool how I slipped that in there. That was like a smooth transition into like throwing out the Patreon right there. So check it out. There's different tiers. Help me out. Okay. Anyways, he was one of my biggest supporters, and I'm not saying that, you know, my sister or my mom or dad are not big supporters, but there's something more special about Memphis. He would always just kind of be a cheerleader for me, even at the nightclub when we would have pre-shifts. He'd be like, yo, you want to try some stand-up? And like, even when people would make fun, he'd be like, just keep going, man. He was just always a good cheerleader for me. So now here we are 10 years later, and I'm fucking floating around, living on couches, just like trying to like, I'll go anywhere right now if I could go work, but I'm still doing the podcast, and he's just like, come stay with me. And you know, here he is hosting me at his place, giving me a place to sleep, feeding me and stuff. It's just like 10 years later, he's seen me, he's watched my career go up and down, and has always been there, and he's still here. 10 years later, bro, he's still right by my side, has my back, picks up the phone, answers a text whenever I text him. And that's what a motherfucking friend is. And trust me, I have a lot of good friends, but like, this is the golden perfect example of how it should always be, bro. It doesn't matter what's going on. I mean, there were times a couple years ago when I was making so much money, not saving it obviously, and like I would just like be having a good time, and then here I am now struggling, and this guy, it's not even a problem. He's there for me. And you know, a lot of other people have families and stuff like that, and they're busy, that didn't even offer. I mean, I didn't ask, but I'm sure they would have. But I didn't even have to ask. He's like, yo, you should stay with me, because he knew we were going to party and have a good time. But I think it's important that you need to ask yourself, are you that type of person? Would you do that for your friend? You know, even if you don't see him a lot and you live across the country, he's there for me. And he's one of the best friends I've actually ever had. And I've grown to appreciate him even more. And I think this is even a perfect example. Like, you know, sometimes you feel like you could be taken advantage of someone when they say you could stay with me. You don't want to like, you know, you don't want to, you know, overstay your welcome, or, you know, be in their way, you know, because it's during the week, man. Today's Wednesday. People are working. So people come home, you know, they pay their own bills, they pay a mortgage, and then you think like you're in their way or you're annoying them. So I just went out of my way to make sure I cleaned the house, I built the bed, like just do things that I could show to show my appreciation, because I think that's very important that I do that, because of like, I mean, dude, he got me set up in LA, and now here he is fucking, you know, letting me jump on his back, and he's carrying me around for a little bit, for a week before I go back to LA. And that's unbelievable, like, because he's just always been there. And I don't know, you know, again, I didn't write notes or anything. I'm just kind of just talking from the heart, but I think that's really cool, man. You know, I also think I'm obviously a little bit more mature, and I am, you know, realizing how important friendship and family is in your life, and to like appreciate just the small things, you know, because it's weird, man, because I was at my sister's, and you know, my sister has a you know, the one thing my sister, my dad, and me have is like the short temper, you know, and I think I've worked on that a lot over the past few months meditating. I've learned how to slow things down, be present, and then if there's an emotion I have, whether it's being angry or happy, I can identify the emotion that's happening in a present situation, and then just kind of slow it down and not be reactive and kind of just handle the situation to what's going on. And I think one of the biggest flaws I had was something that my dad and sister have now, is we're very short-tempered and we snap at people quick. And when I was staying with my sister, of course, I'm very appreciative of being able to stay there. But, like, you know, and my brother-in-law is just one of the sweetest guys ever. But I came home to kind of lean on them, man. You know what I mean? You saw last week's episode. I just was explaining how I wasn't, like, mentally, like, I felt like for the first time in my life, I wasn't mentally tough. Like, I was going through a lot, just everything I had gone through. And so, you know, I was there, and of course I was happy to be out of LA and just kind of be around family. But there was like some tension in the house with my sister. She was going through some stuff, but everybody is, you know what I mean? And I told her, I go, everyone's going through stuff. I just kind of need you here to be patient with me, and I'm sorry if I'm in your way. And unfortunately, she just seemed like she couldn't really understand that, I guess. I mean, she's just still stuck in her own world. And I think she's a good person. I think she has a great heart, and I love her. But, I mean, I was just more disappointed that she couldn't really just pause her life for a second to even really be there for me for a second. I mean, she was there because she let me stay at her house. But I really don't know how to articulate what I'm trying to say. I was just kind of upset that she snapped at me. That's what I was saying. She snapped at me at one of the points, and I tried to stay out of it her way, and I wasn't. She was like, "You didn't even say thank you," and it's like I'm very thankful, and I say thank you when I leave, but like as if I was gonna say thank you for every meal she was getting me. I don't know what was going on, but I stayed out of the way, and I decided I'll leave on Sunday, and then I left Sunday, headed to Tampa, and went to Side Splinters and saw Brett Ernst, who's a very funny comedian and a good guy. And he's another guy that I was sitting with in Side Splinters, and I had a drink with him and watched a little bit of his show. Just another guy who's just like, you know, when I moved to LA, he was one of the biggest comics in town. You know, in 2010, he was all over the marquees. He was getting the 10:30 spots at the store. Very funny guy. But he moved back out of LA, and he's still working, and he tours and stuff, and I think he's in Florida now. But, like, you know, he's had his own issues, but he's another guy who's just always been like, he's an Italian from South Florida, but also from the Northeast, so we have a little in common, but just all about, like, bro, fuck, you know, bullshit. Like, you should just always be there for a friend no matter what. Like, fuck money, fuck Hollywood, like, to never turn your back on a friend. Like, you be there for, you be there for fucking your friend no matter what. Like he's just like such a fucking like an aggressive aggro Italian who's just like, I got my motherfucking friend, I'll go beat the fuck out of someone for my friend. You know what I mean? Like the most loyal motherfucker. Like, and we're not even that close, but like he's one of those guys who he's been doing comedy 20 plus years, right? I've been doing it 10. He's one of those guys who I've probably never really spent much time with him besides random nights in Hollywood or some nights on the road where we're in the same city or something. But he's one of those guys I could probably text and be like, yo, can I talk to you for a second? I need your help. And he would probably pick up the phone for even someone like me. And we're not like that. We're not close like that. But, like, that's like a real motherfucker, dude. And I've just been reminded about all these real motherfucking friends just this whole trip. And it's just like, I know who those real motherfucking friends are in Hollywood. And I've seen examples of people who are fake as fuck. I mean, people who think that they have to open up their mouth or something for what? Nobody gives a shit what you're saying. I don't care if you have the biggest fucking podcast, man. Who's got the biggest motherfucking podcast? Joe Rogan? He doesn't always have to fucking address shit, and he doesn't, because he does whatever the fuck he wants. But these other fucking pussies fucking put their fucking tail between their legs and they fucking turn their backs. That's all I'm going to say. It's like, bro, you don't have to do anything you don't want to. All right? You could speak for yourself. That's all you have to know. And then you should always know who your friends are, dude. Always know who your friends are and who and you find out in dark times who your real friends are. But I mean, I don't know. I'm rambling right now. I don't know if I'm making sense. But this week was special, man. Just the fact that how Memphis is like, you know, letting me stay at his place. I'm 36. I'm sleeping in his fucking kid's room, you know. I would think that would be kind of annoying if I overstayed my welcome, but I'm going to be here till Sunday. You know, I mean, we're only here Wednesday, but he doesn't even mind. Makes me feel welcome. Doesn't make me feel bad about it. And I think that's important because he probably knows that like it's hard right now for a comedian, for a lot of comedians, because we're not working. So it's scary. It's like, when am I going to get to work again? When am I going to make money? And I know I'm not the only one struggling. I know that you guys are too, or anyone who's dealing with work shit right now. But I just kind of wanted to stress that shit. I kind of got a little aggressive right there. I don't want to like say like I'm attacking anyone, but I'm just saying, I think that regardless of work related friends, not everybody you work with is actually a real friend. It's kind of sad. Like I think about like all the restaurants I used to work at. I would be excited to go to work at a restaurant because I liked like one of the cooks. Like I would laugh with him and like have a good time. But then when you leave that restaurant, that relationship's over. You know what I mean? Those are always interesting ones. Like there was a guy I worked with at Famous Dave's in Tallahassee, man. I don't even remember his name anymore. I mean, this is 15 years ago. But he would make me laugh so much. But like, I wish I could still like look that guy up and be like, yo, how have you been? You know what I mean? Like there's certain bonds you have with these people that you would just you would work with, and you knew there was like this weird connection. And then like when you left that job, they were gone and they were not there anymore. And that's unfortunate that happens, but I don't know where I'm going with this part either. But I'm saying like you meet people even like in comedy. I met people when I first started in comedy right away. Like Joe Marisi was one of them. Like I met him early on. I just knew I was always going to be friends with this guy, and I know that guy would always have my back no matter what. And that's another loyal guy. You know what I mean? There's just certain people like that. And then even in the last couple of weeks, there's a lot of comedians we were all like calling each other and texting, and there's some you realize you're like, oh, wow, this guy's a good guy. It's like fuck work and shit. It's just like, yo, can I talk to you? I need you on the phone. I need to talk, and they're there for you. It's like they're not scared about whatever culture's going on or anything. They're just there for you as a friend, because at the end of the day, everything that you have in life could disappear. You could lose it all. But the only thing you do have is family and friends. So it's important that you make those people close to you know that you'll always be there for them. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I think all of you listening right now, you have those friends. And, one thing I do notice that maybe at my age, I don't know how old you guys are, but like in your 30s, mid-30s, a lot of my friends have like, their own lives. I mean, their schedules are busy. They work all week. They come home. They got to deal with their kids. Most of my friends have multiple kids. But you know what, dude? We all kind of make time to like keep in touch with each other. That's what's special. Like even my best friend from college, like I'll go months without talking to him. But when we talk, it's like we pick up where we left off. Even if we're politically, if we have political differences, we kind of can put that aside to be there for each other. I definitely think I'm getting COVID. I had a fun time last night, man. I had a fun time, and I drank a lot, and I'm gonna drink a lot tomorrow because I'm going on a boat. But I went on a ramble there, and I wish I was a little bit more structured. But I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but yeah, I think this is cool. I mean, it's so weird to be like I'm staying in his little kid's room, and I'm taking a shower with toys. There's toys on the fucking floor. You know what I mean? Like, have you guys ever like had to like, even at my sister's place, I'm taking a shower in that bathroom. They got toys in the bathtub. Like, I remember playing in the bathtub or shower when I was a kid, but like it's so ridiculous. These kids today, like they get so bored so easily that they have to fucking. You can't just take a bath and get out. Like, even a shower has to be entertaining. I mean, the things they have today, they didn't have when I was a kid. Like, they have suction cup toys that are hanging off the walls so you can fucking play, like, with your action figures like you're in some different level or something. But it's like, it's just crazy. It's like being in, like, a little toy pen. I'm just trying to, like, wash my body, and I'm knocking toys and stepping on blocks and stuff. It's like, this is dangerous. This is dangerous to even be taking a shower in this environment, because I'm gonna slip on a toy and break my neck, or like I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, like I'm going to bed and, like, there's dinosaurs. So I'm surrounded by dinosaurs right now. I'm surrounded by dinosaurs and one Ninja Turtle. Where's the other three? Like, who gets one Ninja Turtle? You got the best one. Let's agree, Leonardo's the best one. Leonardo is the best Ninja Turtle. Michelangelo, I obviously like the best because he was funny. He was the comedian, and his name's Michael, okay? But Leonardo was the coolest. Raphael was like, why is he always mad? And then Donatello, everybody was like, let's be honest. I'm going to be honest about that. Donatello's gay. Everybody knows that Donatello's gay. Like, if you didn't know that, then what were you, like, of course he is. Donatello was fucking gay. Donatello's gay. Leonardo was just like, okay, he's the man. He's the alpha of the fucking group. Michelangelo's silly. That's me. Just a silly goofball. And then Raphael was just like your dad. You're just like, why is my dad a Ninja Turtle? Like, why is he always angry? Like, just relax. Like, fucking get laid or something. And then you have fucking na 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 na. So, yeah, I'm in this situation, and it's really cold. That's why I'm wearing a hoodie. Iced tea's kicking in. Not iced tea, hot tea, whatever. Who cares? My mom always said life is like a box of chocolates. What's that thing called? Hold on. You know what's bullshit is, this is going to be way off topic, but fuck, what's it called? I need the it here. I got to pull it up right now, actually. When you think it's when you think you remember something the way it was. Bernstein Bears. Watch, sorry, forgive me. What is it called? Fuck. Okay, it's a conspiracy theory, and I looked up into it because I watched this movie. And you're gonna be like, what is this called? Okay, so there's fucking, what is it called? Forgive me. So, like, when you think you remember something, when you think you remember the way something was, but then you find out it's not that way. That's called something, and it's a conspiracy. I want to bring it up for you guys, so bear with me. So here it is. It's like, you might remember reading the Bernstein Bears books or watching the cartoon when you were little, but it's actually not it's not Bernstein, it's Berenstain Bears. I'm having a hard time with this right now. I can't find the fucking word, and it's pissing me off, and I know that you guys are like screaming it right now, like it's called this, but I can't even think about what it's called. But either way, there's this thing where, like, oh, you think when you watched Forrest Gump, you thought he was saying, Mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But he's really saying, Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So was, not is. People would say it was is. It's not is, it's was. And then when you show yourself it's was, you go, no, I swear to God, I remember it being is. But no, I don't know why, but there's like a bunch of these, like Bernstein Bears and Bernstein Bears. It's Berenstain, and people think, no, it used to be Bernstein. So they think it's a conspiracy where, whatever the term is, obviously in post I'll find it and I'll just put the fucking word up next to my head. So that's what we're talking about. But the conspiracy is that we live in different dimensions, and like, oh, okay, so then that means there's a glitch, and that's why that's happening. But it's so stupid, because then it pulled up like the 20 reasons, which I'll put in edit, the fucking 20 things that people mistaken that you think like, like one of them is I remember, there we go, the Nelson Mandela effect. The Nelson Mandela effect, that's what it is. People remember him dying in like the 80s, but he actually died like 10 years ago or something like that. So, and people are like, no, I swear to God, I remember watching TV and learning he died in the 80s. So he's the first one of the conspiracy where it's called the Mandela effect or something like that. Effect or theory, Mandela theory or some shit like that. And another one is the Monopoly guy. What is if you ask somebody right now, like I'm asking you, what's the Monopoly guy? What's he wearing on his face in a hat? Like, what does he have? You think, like a monocle? You think one of those and a top hat? And he doesn't. He doesn't have a monocle at all. So then you're like, whoa, I swear to God he did. So now if you go look at the Monopoly thing and you see that he doesn't have one, you're like, oh, wait, that is crazy. That was the one that made me go, wait, that is weird. And then I read, no, you're just thinking of the peanut guy. The peanut guy has one and you're confusing it. That's what that one is. So that was the only one that made me go, whoa. And then I saw like the other 20 examples, which I could put up, and I was like, no, I never thought that. It's all bullshit. It's just a stupid fucking conspiracy thing. And I don't think all conspiracies are stupid. Most of them are. I probably do think most of them are. But, like, this one's just actually really ridiculous. But anyways, I don't know why I got into why did I even get into that? Damn it. Where's an it when you need it? Where's an it when you need it? So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I feel good. Got a lot of great feedback from last week's episode, which is cool, man. I still got some trolls, which is, I know you trolls don't even watch this. You're not even watching it. You just are disliking the videos that I'm posting, and I'm sure this will last for a while. I'm sure you guys are gonna go dislike my videos on YouTube and, whatever you're going to do, and maybe one day you guys will get a life, but that's so weird. But don't be surprised if something's coming your way. I promise you this. I promise you I got something fun for my team, for all the people who fucking are loyal listeners to this. We got Revenge Week coming up. I'll tell you that. And it's going to be fun. Don't think I haven't screenshot and saved every fucking horrible message I've received, because you will get a taste of your own medicine. I can't wait. It's going to be fucking fun, and it's going to be a good time, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it, because you guys are going to participate in it. And I know that not all of you are, because that would be crazy, but if even 10% of you participate in Revenge Week, when I fucking do Revenge Week on my podcast, it will be a fun time. We're going to make it, we're going to laugh. We're not going to hurt people. We don't want to hurt people. Remember last week? We don't want to be one of those people, but we could do something where it's fun, okay? And that's coming, and that's for sure. That's what's for sure coming, okay? I feel great. I ran today. Working out is a little harder when you're traveling. I can't get access to a gym, so I'm just doing like in-house workouts. But, just for a reminder for you guys out there, there's no excuse. There's always some sort of thing you could do outside of running. You could always run. It doesn't matter where you are, but there's always little exercises, thousands of them online that you could look up where you don't even need weights. I mean, you could just be doing stretches and stuff like that to just keep your brain going and feeling positive. I feel absolutely 100%. 100 times better than I did last week. I just feel awesome. And talking to some of my comedian friends too, they all feel great. Everyone feels a lot better, man. It feels like we were all just in a dark place, and now everybody's like just feeling good. And I like it. I like that, because I guess we're in a world where people obsess over something and then they move on, I guess. I don't even know. It's just so strange. But mentally I feel better. I'm excited. Just always being excited. I think that's important too, right? I mean, right? You guys got to have something exciting. Like I was telling my buddy Memphis, I was hanging out with, we were just talking about like what are you excited about next? You know what I mean? Like how could, like, I don't know how everybody thinks, but like even like how could you ever just retire and sit around? Like wouldn't you get bored? Don't you want to be excited about something else or doing something else? And I feel that way with like working out too. Like I'm excited to try to see what else I could push my body to do, or like artistically. Obviously I'm excited to see what comedy will be when it comes back, or what will I talk about on stage, what kind of comedian will I be. I feel like I'm going to be a different comedian when I come back and I hit it hard. It's definitely interesting. I'm excited to keep learning the piano. I'm excited to see how me working on myself changes my relationships with people that I work with or people I meet. I'm excited to be more open to relationships and dating. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to listen more. I want to be better at listening, for not only in relationships but for just in general with people who need someone to listen to them, because you never know what they're going through. So there's just a lot to be excited about, and I think that you got to always remind yourself that. And even when you're in dark places, man, if you just fucking remind yourself that there's a lot of exciting things that are going to come from this, even when you're in your darkest times. And I would tell myself that when I was really sad. I was like, you're going to get past this, you're going to pull out of it, and then you're going to be excited about something. And you'll always figure it out, and that's character. When someone's got you in the corner, when life has you in the corner, you'll fight your way out. Hopefully we all fight our way out. And, and even for anyone listening, man, even if you haven't hit an obstacle or like you're like rock bottom or whatever you want to call it, like it's coming, it's going to happen. And there's going to be a time in my life where it happens again. And I'm going to be going through a rough time, but I know through experience and, I know my personality and my character that I'll be able to get through it, because I've been through a couple tough things, which aren't that tough to probably you guys or anyone, or maybe it is to you, never know. Some other people have had a lot harder things, but it doesn't mean that you can't be sad or, affected by what's happening in your life. Of course, like, that's another thing I learned. Like, of course, everybody, like, will be like, I even do this. I'll say to you guys, I'll be like, you can't get down on it because you're one of the lucky ones, or you feel you should be happy that you're in this situation because like people have it way worse than you. And that might be true, but I don't want to make it sound like you should feel bad for feeling sad or being depressed about a situation. You're allowed to too. Every individual is allowed to feel that way for what's present or what's given in their life. You know what I mean? So yeah, someone has a worse life and then they're also depressed, but someone who has a great life can also be depressed, and that doesn't, they're not a bad person because they feel the same emotions that everybody feels, but they have a better life. Does that make sense? Like, just because somebody has a great life doesn't mean that they're not allowed to be sad or depressed. So one thing that we can all relate to is we all have the same emotions, man. We all get happy, we all get excited, we all get sad, we all get angry. I mean, that's just the one thing that we all have in common. That's why we are all just one race, human. And it's kind of crazy. So that's one thing that we can all relate to. So when you talk about these kind of things, everybody can relate to it. Doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman and or your social class or where you live. Like, everybody has those emotions and has to fucking fight through them and get through them, and it makes you stronger. Again, man, I'm all over the place. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about half of the time, but the fucking tea's kicking in. So we got a big boat day coming tomorrow. I'm going to be on a boat, and I'm excited about being on a boat. And, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And hold on. You know what? I got to take off the sweater. So hold on. Give me a second. Okay, we're back. We're back. Do you guys know that we're back? So here we are. We're back, and I had to take the hoodie off. It was getting a little hot because, when I'm going, I get hot. I especially get going. It can get really rampant. Is that the right word? I just made it up. I don't know. It can get really hot in those situations, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Again, it's always better to be a little bit more prepared. I'm a little scared. I hope that, about this episode. I hope this episode's good. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'll I got a lot of feedback about last week's episode, and I didn't even think it was anything special. I think I've done way better on other episodes. You know what I mean? Because I guess, it is hard to talk for an hour. So it was cool to just kind of riff that off, and be a little less prepared, because when I'm not home sitting at my desk, thinking about how to produce the show, I have less concept. So I was kind of just winging it. But for whatever reason, a couple people reached out and were like, that was my favorite episode, which offends me, but also makes me feel good. I'm kidding. It doesn't offend me because you want your latest episode to be your best. But I already feel like this episode's not as good as last week's. But again, I didn't even think last week's was going to be that good. So it's weird. It's weird what resonates with people and what, really people were like, oh, it's really cool for you to put yourself out there and be vulnerable. I didn't think I was being vulnerable. I was just being honest. And I feel like, I hope that you guys think I'm being honest every episode, because I am. I mean, obviously I want to joke around and be silly. I'm going to say stupid things. Obviously I'm not ready to be a father. I mean, I need to get my fucking life together. That being said, I say fuck a lot. And my mom wants me to work on not saying it. She goes, can you not say, she said, I wish I had the text on me right now, but she was like, can you stop using the F word? And I go, well, Mom, why? I go, it shows emotion and feeling towards certain things, in context what I'm talking about. I'm not using it to slander or hurt somebody. I'm not going you fucking idiot. Now I think that's wrong. If you're like, you fucking idiot, or if you're like, fuck off bitch, or if you're like, you fuck your butthole, Or if you're like, come fuck me, bitch. Like, yeah, that's not good. But if you're like, she was mad because on Instagram when I ran out of gas on the way to South Florida because I do stupid things, man. And that's going to be a part of my life. And I realize that. I'm always going to do stupid things. And I ran out of gas, but it's not fully my fault. But before we get into the gas story, I'll tell you about the fuck thing. She's like, I was excited and I was like, fuck yeah. You know, like I won the Super Bowl. Like, fuck yeah. I didn't think that was a big deal. I think that's fine. Like, I think that shows excitement. If I say yeah, or if I say fuck yeah sounds way more exciting. You're like, oh, he's really excited. Like, if I'm like, yeah, he's excited. But if I go, fuck yeah, you're like, oh, wow, he's really excited. You know what I mean? It definitely adds that. And she was like, how about fadoodle? Fadoodle. She sends me that. I go, is that even a word? She goes, I just made it up, but use that. But like, fadoodle you. And it doesn't work, Mom. See? It's just like, that's a silly word. She's like, just use a different word. I go, what's the point of just using a different word that you made up if you know in your head it still means the same thing? I mean, we do that in society all the time with words, and we're like, you can't say that word because it means this. Like, I mean, that was the whole thing with gay. You can't call someone gay. People, when we were growing up, it was okay to be like, bro, stop being gay. You know, everybody. You've heard comedians do that joke all the time. People are like, don't stop being gay. But like, you can't say that anymore because you're implying that gay is derogatory or you know, whatever. I'm stupid. I can't speak. Or I don't know, like, the words I'm supposed to use to try to get across what I'm saying. But either way, she sent FUUDOODLE, like just a foodoodle. That doesn't even flow right. I mean, just make up a 4-letter word at least. So she was mad about that. So I got to stop saying fuck a lot. So sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this. I'll try to say fuck less. But I did. I ran out of gas, and I know that's really stupid. I think a few weeks ago I did some of the stupidest things I've ever done. Like, didn't I talk about that? If it was here, you know, it would tell us if I've done that before. Which I have. I thought I did like the 5 dumbest things. And I think it was like, one was like stepping in my dog's shit after I went to go pick it up on the floor, touching the exhaust pipe, and like punching a brick mailbox. So those were some of them. This was another dumb thing. So when you're in Florida, for these people who live in Florida, they'll get it more. When you're coming from Tampa, you take I-75, which is on the west coast. It's the highway on the west coast. I-95 is on the east coast, goes all the way up to New York. Very famous road. So I-75, when you get down to like South Florida, you have to come across Alligator Alley to get to the you're cutting across basically the whole Everglades. There's no gas stations for like 60 miles. Okay, the gas light comes on when I'm at Alligator Alley. And my friend who calls me, and I was like, yo, I got to get gas soon. He's like, there should be one at mile marker 80. So I'm at like mile marker 85. Okay, so I'm like, oh, cool, I'll be fine, obviously. So we're talking on the phone, and we just get to talking. You know, you'll be on the phone, and next thing you know, it's 15 minutes later, and you're like, oh, shit, I'm at mile marker 72. I was like, bro, I got to, like... I go, is there another gas station? He knows Alligator Alley very well because he used to go to Florida Gulf Coast and then go home to Coral Springs. You take that highway all the time. So he's like, no, there's not one for a while. Like, he's like, you won't make it. Like, you can't keep going. You're going to have to turn around on the highway. So now I'm like, shit, man, I've been going on with the gas tank light on for over 12, 13 miles. I was like, I got to turn around and go back to mile marker 80. I turn around on the highway. It's grass, thank God. And I turn around and I go back up to 80. So another 8 miles, I go back the other way. So now I'm staying on the phone with him, paying attention. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm like, God, bro, I can't believe I did that. What an idiot. Get to mile marker 80. I get off and I go, bro, there's no gas station. Like, which way? I have to look. And the closest one was 10 miles off of the highway at mile marker 80. So I was like, fuck, I got to go 10 miles, 10 more miles. So now I'm like, oh, shit, here I go. And then I head towards the gas station. Bro, I get 1 mile away, and I break down. I break down a mile away from the gas station. Thank God I was that close, but I was like, oh, I'll just run there. I'll run there, fill up the gas tank, the container, and then walk back, I guess. So, I mean, what would that take, a half hour? I could run a mile in like 8 minutes and then walk back in 12, right? Maybe not even a half hour, but just, whatever. So But instead of doing that at the last minute, I was like, why don't I just see if I can get an Uber? And I was able to get an Uber. So an Uber picked me up, and I got the gas tank at the gas station, filled it up, drove back, put 2 gallons in, then drove the car to the gas station, and was back on my way. But it was a stupid thing I did, and, you learn from your mistakes. And I'll tell you who doesn't make mistakes like that, Leonardo. So it's been fun, though, being out here in South Florida, man. Again, reminding me about, like, what true friends are about, like just kind of, I really really needed to lean on them, and I'm excited. They all have busy schedules and they have kids, but they're all taking time to leave their families to come hang out with me. We're going on a boat tomorrow, and I'm gonna be irresponsible, and I'm gonna drink more than I should, and I'm not gonna be responsible about it. I'm gonna just keep going because it makes the pain go away. I'm kidding. I don't want any of you guys to resort to like drugs or alcohol to like relieve pain. That's obviously not a healthy thing to do. I'm just obviously going to be with friends, and I think it'll be fun to hang out with them and obviously have a good time. So I'm excited about that because it's like my best friends from high school. So it'll be good to spend some time with family and friends. And I think, remember, I also spoke about this previous weeks, to unplug, like have friends to unplug. I think we should all do it. I think it's healthy to kind of like just forget about everything that you're worked up on in life. Like, everybody looks at everything in their life under a small microscope. Like, we all live in our own little bubble, and we think everything that we do in work or in our life is the biggest deal, but it's really not to the rest of the world. So it's fun. And who reminds you that the most? Being around your friends and stuff and other people who are not involved in your work or your world, because then you realize like it's not that big of a deal. And that's important, because if you're only hanging out with people that you work with, then you're only going to be talking about the stuff that you're only going to talk about the same. You're going to talk about the same stuff because that it's going to be work stuff. And even if it's not, it's going to be people that you work with or whatever. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, it's just good to like have a different people to remind you that the only thing that does matter is just having those friends around you that you've had for years. Reminiscing's fun. It's fun to reminisce too, and I think a lot of us will do that tomorrow. It's always fun to catch up with people and just let go and know that you have each other's back and that they'll always be there for you. I hope that makes sense. If I'm saying anything, I hope that resonates with you. And I know I have some special people in my life that are great, good people that will always be there for me, and I'll always be there for them. And I'll tell you, I'll always be there for my best friends, all of them. Doesn't matter, and nothing. There's nothing I have to do to prove that they know that. I don't have to do anything to show that I am there for them or care for them, at least publicly. You know what I mean? People are big on social media. People will like post. They'll be like, hey, they'll post a picture with their friends or something like that. Like, who's that for? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, who is that for? Like, you don't know anyone else. The people that follow you on Facebook or follow you on Twitter or follow you on Instagram, it's not about them. You don't owe them shit. Maybe that, you know what I mean? So who gives a fuck? The people in your life that are close to you, your real friends, they know you have their back, and that's all that matters. And that's what's important to understand. So I think that's the lesson we got to learn this week. And I wish I had more stuff to really go off of, and I know I did in my head have some other ideas I wanted to go off of. But, I mean, I'm forgetting some stuff. So, I'm sorry if this episode's a little shorter than some of the other ones that usually are. But I really am proud of fucking building this bunk bed that I'm sleeping in, which is crazy, because if I brought a girl back to his house, which he said it could, he said if I met a girl, because I am single, if there are women that have dated before that live in Florida, if I was with a girl and I brought a girl back to this place, he was like, yeah, you can bring a girl back. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I don't want to bring a girl back to your place and then in your son's bed. He's like, dude, I had another buddy that's done it before. I go, you had a buddy stay with you and bring a girl back to your place, and he slept in your son's bed? He's like, yeah, well, I mean, whatever. And I go, I guess, yeah, it is whatever, but it would be weird if I'm fucking having sex with a girl and this thing's just like right next to your face. You're just like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at like a giraffe, looking at Cookie Monster on a wall. If a girl was riding me and like there's a girl on top of me and I'm looking at Cookie Monster, that's kind of weird. Don't you think that's weird? I just don't think it's just appropriate. I feel like it's weird. You know what I mean? There's like fucking Llama Llama Red Pajama book, which wasn't a book when I was a kid. Llama Llama Red Pajama. Just so you know, that's a book. There's Batman. There's a fucking plastic baseball glove. There's a giraffe, there's a skeleton, and there's a mini basketball hoop, and then there's like a toy car. You know what I mean? These are all things that you kind of don't want in your eyesight when you're having sex with a girl. So I don't know if I would bring a girl back to the place. I don't think it's the right move for fucking T-Rex. Man, T-Rex, pretty consistent. Do you think they were actually green? We don't know. We don't know what color they were. So, a couple things. You guys are doing a great job, though, with it, but I could use your help if you leave 5-star reviews on the Apple podcast. By the way, my mom, she was like, I try to leave a 5-star review, and it just doesn't always work. And I'm like, well, you can only leave a 5-star review once. She goes, oh, really? I thought you do it every week. I go, if that was the case, Mom, I would sure hope I had a lot more reviews than I do now. No, you can only leave a 5-star review once. So if you've done it, great. Thank you for your support. But based off the numbers, I know that you guys could do a little bit more work on whatever platform you listen to it. Leave a 5-star review or subscribe to the YouTube. If you do watch the podcast, thumbs up on the videos too. I mean, because there's obviously some trolls that are disliking some of the videos recently, which whatever. It doesn't really hurt my feelings. I don't care. It's just so funny to think that someone would be like, I'm going to go dislike kids' videos. Like, okay. You think you're going to stop me from fucking doing my thing? Like, you're not going to stop me doing this. This is like, hello, you can't ever stop someone from creating. Like, it's not something, you can't do that. Like, there's no, you would have to kill me. You have to kill me if you want me to stop making videos. So what are you going to do? Just keep, disliking them? Like, get a fucking life. Is that really what you're going to do? You think you're going to, ruin my career because you're disliking a video? You fucking troller, which is so dumb that I'm even talking about it because they're not watching this. They're definitely not watching or listening to my podcast at minute 57. How funny if they're like, okay, you know what? I was waiting for him to fucking mention me disliking his video, and it took an hour. And now he said it. Now I'm fucking mad. Now I'm going to go dislike a lot of videos. And you know what, dude? I am fucking pissed. Imagine. So this is me just venting to the people who are on my side. To the fucking few people that listen to the very end, which some of you do. I asked that question on a previous episode. One kid was like, I listened to the very last word. So I shout out to you, bro. I wish I had your name. But so yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. And then, 5-star reviews. And then if you can and you want, check out the Patreon, which I got to get a little bit more active. It's harder when I'm on the road, but that would be cool. So I appreciate everything that you guys have done. Listening, thanks for being here and love the feedback, and follow the Takeover Pod on Instagram. I post the clips on there, and also check that out. And then also I for the newer listeners, because there's more of a spike in the numbers. That's cool. I appreciate it. Just check out all the previous episodes. There's a lot of fun episodes. There's a lot of cool episodes. So if you just are listening to the latest 2, there's some fun ones back in the day too. So thank you so much. Next episode you see, I will be back in LA, and hopefully I have some shows coming up. I think July is the day we start to get more shows, maybe even some in LA. So we'll see. So thanks for fucking hanging in there. Sorry I said the F word, Mom. But thanks for watching this week, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.